Hello friends, welcome to DataPundit. So we were talking about a data engineering pipeline other day. So this is the second part wherein we are going to complete that pipeline to automate everything from the source to the target. So the in the second part, I will show you how to create this event bridge rule and how the lambda would be triggering, and how the glue job would be triggering, right? So this automation we are going to see in this part. Okay. So I have let's see the steps basically. So basically, I have explained the this infrastructure, this design diagram basically in earlier. So I don't want to go through that again basically. So now, if you did not watch the earlier video, so you can go and see the earlier. So I will give the my link, the first part link in the description. So you watch that part first, and then you can come over here and continue with the rest of the AWS management console configuration and the different steps. So first, I'm not going to explain again, because we have extensively described this structure in the first part of it. In the currently, what I'm going to see the steps actually, what we are going to do in as part of the second part. So we are going to automate it, the ETL operation from S3 to Redshift. So the first part is we need to have the Redshift cluster, because we have seen the source, we have crawled the source, we created the catalog, we infer the schema, we had seen the automation of the crawling mechanism, right? So now we need to create the target thing, the Redshift cluster, and then the you know make sure that the role associated with has full access. And second thing is VPC S3 endpoint gateway created and associated VPC of the Redshift cluster. So let's see the Redshift cluster actually. Now go to the so I have created the Redshift cluster and also the this database. If you go to the query editor, you can connect the database public, right? And I have see this one, this Redshift cluster is there. Okay, it is running, it's available. Okay, and if you want to see the VPC part, the database configuration part, this is the dev 5439 and this is the user. Okay, and if you want to see the network and security settings, this is the VPC, this is the security group, and it is and this is the I am role and all. Okay, and I was talking about the VPC part, right? So let's see that VPC part first as well. So you need to take care of couple of things. So I have listed over here, make sure the role associated has full access, that we have done, because we are going to give the role which has every access. And second part is make sure the VPC has 3 endpoint gateway, because this, so if you look at this structure, right, so this is in the VPC and the my S3 bucket is in outside. So we have to have the, if you want to establish the communication from within AWS network, and this is going to be there in the VPC. So as VPC S3 endpoint needs to be created, so that we can smooth communication between the Redshift cluster to S3 bucket. So if you want to do that, so we have seen that I have only one VPC. So this is associated with my Redshift cluster, and this, the security group is also one I have. So this security group is also associated with that. If you go to the endpoints, right? So F endpoint, so I have created one endpoint S3 gateway endpoint demo, right? So for this VPC, so this VPC ID is same, right? So for that I need to create the, you go to the endpoint, you go give the name of the endpoint, let's say this one, go to the AWS service, select the S3 over here, and then do it, do select S3. Okay, so you will have a gateway thing. Those you need to select this one, and you select your VPC and then click on the create endpoint. So this creates your endpoint. You need to create this endpoint, okay, to have a smooth communication. And the second part is you go to the security group, you go to the inbound rule, and you need to have the no, not this. Go to the where is that? Okay, so go to the security group. It will, if you click on the security group, it will have the EC2 management console. Then you will have the Inbound rule, right? In the inbound rule, you go to the edit inbound rule, or you need to give this and rule actually. So the target is going to be the same security group, all TCP inbound, type is TCP, and the source is the same security group, this security 76, right? 576. So this rule you have to have, right? So that needs to be taken care. So these two after being taken care, so let's we have created the table, right? If you go to the query editor and you see that table we have, so now it's time to crawl the this one. So to crawl the Redshift cluster, right? So Redshift DB, so we have to have the connection actually, right, between Glue and the Redshift. So we have something called connection over here in data catalog part. So we have a connection, right? So if you click on the connection, so I have created one connection, right, which is Redshift Glue connection. So how we create the connection is you create custom connector, or you can say that create connection, and you give the name of the connection, let's say this one, and you give the whatever the service name, okay, Amazon Redshift. Then you give the database instances. It will automatically come. If you have created the Redshift cluster and database and all, it will automatically come. You need to give the password. So this password, then you click on the create connection. So because I have already created, so I'm not going to create it. So if you want to see the this properties of this connection, we can see that this is a JDBC connection, and right, everything else is this one. Okay. So now let's go to the crawler. Where is crawler? Okay. If you click on crawler, so we are going to crawl the Redshift basically. We have done the this one S3 crawler. S3 we have done. Now we are going to create another crawler. So now I'm going to give the name of the target crawler is like Redshift Glue CRAWLER. I think this is the name of the crawler. So let me confirm it because I have configured my database. I configured my job basically. Glue Studio jobs. I will check the job what I have given already. So I'll give the same name actually. Database table. There is no table currently. So okay, no problem. So let's go to the crawler. Okay. So we have given the Redshift Glue Crawler. I have given the name. And go to next data store. Instead of this one, we have to give the JDBC, and then connection. Okay, and then you need to give the give the JDBC connection, right? We need a JDBC or ODBC to connect to the Redshift, right? So there are two ways. This is a different type service actually within the another VPC, right? So this is the database. I need to give schema and table. So this I need to give. So my database is dev, and my schema is public, and my table name is CNBC news. You can verify upon here. So my database is dev. My table name is CNBC news. Schema is public, right? So this information you need to give over here. Okay, and then you do next. Then the IAM role, okay, and then you need to give the on-demand run, okay, and database, right? So we have already created the database. If you don't have, then you just add the database, and nothing else needs to be done. And these are optional, so it is going to be created automatically. These are the information. So before finishing, we can verify the information and then click the. So now I have my crawler, okay, created. So what I would do is I will just run the crawler, okay, Redshift crawler, so that my table is going to be created, okay. So it is running currently. So after it finishes, I will have the tables, okay, another table over here, for with respect to the Redshift cluster. So let's see the steps actually. So we have done the Redshift cluster creation. We have created the table. We have created the crawler. We have run the crawler manually so that we can infer the schema. We can create the mapping actually. We can create the mapping in the sense of we can establish this communication between the Redshift and the Glue, right? And my Glue job will push the data from S3 to Redshift. Let me check. Okay, it is going to and then the next steps we see that run the crawler manually. It will be finishing create the glue ETL job. Let's focus on this first, right? Or a lambda function creation. There are two things, right? So let's focus on this ETL job called Redshift ETL, right? So I think it is running currently. So let's focus on the lambda actually. So this is easy. So I have so if you go to the functions, you will have a list of it. So I have created S3 bucket data glue job. So this is my lambda, another lambda function, okay. So this lambda function is the responsibility of this lambda function is this lambda function, this is lambda 2 I'm going to create. So this will capture the event from the event bridge. So event bridge, okay, and as soon as the trigger comes from event bridge rule, so it is going to hit the job, glue job actually, which we are going to create in some time, okay. So this for now you assume that my glue job is S3 to Redshift ETL. This is my glue job. So I have given the same thing actually. So I have Boto3 client. I have given glue client. Okay, and I'm giving some logger information. And then what I'm doing is, so I'm just calling the client.start job name. So job name is glue job name. This glue job name in the sense of S3 Redshift ETL. So this is a small a lambda function part, okay, small function. It will going to hit the it will start the job actually as soon as it receive the event from the event bridge rule. So I have added trigger over here, right? Okay, so we are going to see, I mean, how I'm going to create this S3 event bridge rule, okay, in a moment. So let me go to the this one. Okay, I think one more step I need to create over here, let's say. So before that or after that, let's say 11.1, I can say that create a event bridge rule. Okay, let's say this is an 11.1 point. This is also an important for the automation purpose. Let's see, I mean, my crawler is done or not. I think it is done. So if you want to view the log, you can see that. Otherwise, you can go to the tables and you refresh the tables. You have a dev public CNBC news. This is the table name and this is the database. Okay, if you want to see the thing, you can see that everything is inferred over here. So we have a source and targets crawler created and the crawler ran also, and also we have a database created. Both the databases and both the tables has been created. So that information is used by this glue job. Okay, so let's see the what is job actually. So if you look at this, you go to the AWS Glue Studio. Okay, so you have a jobs there. So if you see that, you can see the visual representation basically. So if you click on, I have created already, so you can see that, S3, and you can target, you can specify. So I have specified Amazon S3. Redshift actually, source is Amazon S3. So that's when I click on create, and then I have done like that. Okay, so you can do that. Otherwise, I have created already. So you just see that. So this is my S3 configuration. If you want to see that, you need to specify S3 source type is data catalog. So you need to give the catalog information here. You don't have to give the actual source information here. So I have given the database you need to for space for the S3 I have an S3 Glue DB, right? So and the table is S3 CNVC news. So those tables names and database name you need to give. Okay, and then you have output schema. If you want to see, these are all 11 columns we have, right, as a string type, so no problem. So data preview we don't have anything, or this one we have S3 bucket, right? Node type is Amazon S3 CSV. The mapping is I have an this information, right? Source key and the target key, the URL to URL, publish set to publish set, right? Everything it is automatically is going to come actually. If you want to see there is a different, you can modify. You can drop the columns and all, right? And then you can see the data preview. You don't have anything transform and node property. You in the transform you can modify everything, and then target is a database is we have a Redshift Glue DB, and table is dev public CNBC news, right, as a target glue. Then insert only I am going to create, and then these are the advanced property for temporary data placement and all. And this is the IAM role I am going to use. So if you save this job, so this job is automatically, I mean it is an automation actually. So basically it is in a script actually. If you look at the script part, so basically it is in a Python script. This is going to run, as it is Spark session is going to create, and then as part of this Spark context, it is going to be running, right? So job detail, if you want to see, so this everything, that also you can modify actually, in the sense of what script you are going to use, which version, Glue version you are going to use. You can use the 2.0 or 3.0 or whatever, right? And then advanced properties also can be selected. So where you need to put the Spark logs and all, temporary files and everything else. Otherwise it is automatically by default comes actually. So these are run information and schedule, version control, and everything else. Okay, crawler. Now so we have created most of it actually. So we have created the job basically. So you go to the steps, we created the job, and we need to EventBridge rule we have to create, so that if you look at the this one, what we have done is we have done job, we have created the Lambda function, we have invoked this job from the Lambda function. The only part pending is this event bridge in the sense of it is going to watch this crawler, source crawler, okay, S3 crawler basically. As soon as it succeeded, that success event is going to see the pattern of the success. If the success is there, then the target of this event bridge rule is the Lambda web service. Okay, now go over here and go to the EventBridge CloudWatch, or you can see, you can go from here also, I think, events rules, right? So if you click on from the CloudWatch dashboard, you can come over here. So I have a rule specified. If you want to see another, if you want to create, so you can create like this, create rule. You can give the rule name, rule 1, let's say, and then event was, there is a default. Okay, you don't have to do anything over here. Use pattern form, okay, and then provider, you can see what is that event pattern. I need to edit the pattern. So that pattern you have to place over here, insert the pattern. So the pattern is, if you go over here, pattern is this. Oh, I have a step actually, create a event variable to watch the status of the crawler, right? So I think I don't have to give this one. So I have given this, another step is Lambda function, right? So after that I have an event bridge rule actually. So create an event bridge rule to watch the status of the S3 crawler. So this is the pattern actually. So if you specify pattern over here, insert, okay. Oops. use pattern form, cancel. Okay, I think event pattern insert. Why it is modified? So if you go to here, then event pattern, right? So if you want to see the so if you want to create a new rule, where is that? So you can create the role, so you don't have to give anything. Rule, okay. Rule with an event pattern, yeah, true. Or AWS, this is by default. AWS event, sample event. I don't have to do anything. Event pattern I need to give, right? Edit pattern. This pattern I need to give, and then I need to go to the next. Okay, you just copy and paste over here the event pattern. Then you go to the next, and you just create a target. I have to select. So you need to give the lambda over here. So if you give this lambda over here, you need to give the what is that function? Function came right. S3 bucket data glue job. Function name is this. What is the name of the lambda function? S3 bucket data glue job, right? S3 bucket data glue job. If you do that and you go to the next, okay, what is going to happen is in the glue, so this part has automatically will come. Okay, if you do that, go here. If you click next and you finish it, then this part, right, this trigger will be coming automatically over here. So earlier we have created the trigger from here, right? So you can create this from here from the respective rule also, right? So I'm going to cancel it. So the same I have over here. So I have a pattern, right? So detail is the glue crawler state change. Source is AWS glue. Okay. And because I'm going to crawl the glue service, right? AWS 3 glue crawler. If it is succeeded, then generate the event. If the state of this crawler is succeeded, right? Meaning, if this crawler S3 crawler is getting succeeded, my EventBridge rule will be hitting the Lambda function, and then in turn Lambda will call the glue job, and the reading of the data from the source to target will happen. So we have everything we have done, right? So let me. So what I will do is I will just remove this file actually. Where is that? Sorry, I would remove this permanently, deleting the file. Now the testing part, okay. So we have done this one. Now upload the data into the S3. Observe the S3 crawler. Okay, observe the S3 crawler automated running. Then as it success. So what we are going to see? So we will upload the data into here, and if you look at this, as soon as I upload the data, my crawler is going to be called. That I will watch, and then I will watch is like whether my glue job is getting hit or not. Okay, this automation I will watch. Okay, now let's upload the file, and just succeeded, right? So go to the glue studio. Let me see the crawler starting, right? Go to crawler in this wizard. Actually, this is a different wizard basically. So I'm just running, right? This is S3 crawler is called. So this is getting called, and this is going to be. So we will see as soon as it succeeded, right? This time we will see that this job is hit or not. Where we will see, go to the jobs. Where is ETL section? Where is ETL section? This one, right? You will see the job. Go to the monitoring part. We will see. We will see the job. We'll see the job here. Earlier it was failed. So Sometimes it fails. So it's coming right. So I think it is completed. This one. Where is that? So I think it is stopping right. It's almost completed. So it is stopping. Before that, it called actually. Stopping in the sense of it has kind of done everything right. So now my job is called. So this S3 Redshift ETL, this job has been called. So if you want to see the CloudWatch, okay, go to CloudWatch, not like that. Go to CloudWatch from here. Let's say Cloud. So if you go to the log groups, so you will have a service specific log groups actually. So if you want to see the glue jobs, right? Glue crawler. So crawler, you can see, and you will have a glue jobs, right? So this one has been 554, right? So this is automatically it is coming, right? So this has been started running actually. So okay. So if you see the lambda, so lambda has been hit actually. So 5 3. So this lambda has done the second lambda, right? This has completed. So this part has been done, right? Glue job started glue job this one, right? If you want to see this one, started glue job. So if you look at this one, so I have this one triggered by event, started glue job, right? Glue job run ID. So those kind of information you can see in the CloudWatch logs, right? So if you go to the log groups and Lambda log group, so the Lambda log group will be there in the Lambda, AWS Lambda, and then okay. Similarly, in the log groups, you can go to the Glue and Glue Crawler. Everything will become, and if Glue jobs, right? So these outputs. So it pi 4, right? This is coming, right? So okay. Now if you look at this is not stopped yet, is it? It's done. Okay. Glue jobs. Server error. I don't know why it is server error. So if you look at the where is that? Yeah, the job's name, right? So if you look at the job, if you look at the monitoring part, so currently this, I think this job has failed basically. So let me see what is the error basically. Driver installation. Okay. Glue exception analysis stage cancelled because of Spark context was shut down. So I think this is job. There is some problem in the Spark contextual. Okay. This is also same, right? Job, okay. The location configure Spark drive is on port. Okay. So the thing is like this glue job has been started, but I think there is a configuration issue. So we are going to solve this configuration issue, and then we are going to finish it. The whole idea is, I mean, how to automate everything. So my job is getting hit, and it is. I think there is a problem in the Spark context or something. So we'll see. I mean, we'll correct it, and then we will upload the third part basically. Maybe some configuration I need to modify within the job. I think let's say if we see this, probably I need to modify these kind of. Maybe I'll try to different version or something. So I'll hit and try and then see, or maybe I'll uh, check the error in thoroughly. So yeah, this is an ETL in a data engineering pipeline basically. So as soon as we will have a data into the Redshift cluster, we can view the data. Okay, currently will not because it's in failed. So I can select the data and see. We can build more queries and uh, create another wizard over here. So these are the different steps actually. So main part was to automate everything from end to end, right? So the final step is the data must be moved to the Redshift after the success of the AWS ETL. So this part, I think, unfortunately, it is not successful currently. So maybe some issues that job has been hit, but I think the Spark context or some configuration problem. Okay, thank you so much. Please subscribe my channel, and we are going to see other services and also different projects in AWS. Thank you so much.